Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Thursday, July 28th, 2011, and this video is brought to you by Realtik. Alright, guys, let's take a look at the charts today. Markets are kind of all over the place. Initially, we opened flat on the day, floated higher, nice move up, then slowly towards the afternoon session, the markets have been fading on concerns over this GOP vote in the House later today. The vote is supposed to take place at 6:15 p.m. Eastern Time. All eyes will be on it. Right now, the Dow's up 9 points, Nasdaq's up 18, S&P 500 is up 4. So a slight bounce from yesterday's big drop. But again, the question has to be asked, will the vote go through today? Essentially, will the bill be passed, which is a deficit reduction and debt ceiling increase? And if it gets passed, then will the Democrats in the Senate, which again, they have majority in the Senate while the Republicans have the majority in the House, will the Senate then pass the bill? If not, will they change it slightly and still pass it? How is this all going to play out? And the markets are on edge. Not only do we have to worry about a default, but you also have to figure out there's a possibility of a lowering of the credit rating here in the United States, which would be huge, folks. That would cause interest rates to go up. Housing would take another dump because, mortgage loans would go up. Credit card rates would go up. Everything that you're looking at to utilize, or the average person out there might be looking to take a loan for, it's going to go up. And that's a major issue, folks. They're talking about GDP points being taken off growth in the future if that does happen. So, there are major issues here that have to be watched. This is not just, fun and games here. This is some major stuff, and the government needs to get their act in order. I truly believe they will get their act in order here. I think when it comes down to it, after the big drop yesterday, it was a wake-up call to the politicians, and I think the vote tonight will get through the House. That should create a little bit of a rally. Then the markets will ultimately be watching in the Senate. Can they get this through? All right, guys. What again you're seeing on the markets here, you're continuing to see a float up, then a reversal here. Markets trading on the spiders up 42 cents. It hasn't been a very volatile day in terms of up, down, up, down, up, down. It's been more a gentle float up and a gentle float down, just slightly positive across the board. The dollar today is basically flat on the day, slightly positive, but basically flat. Gold is seeing a flattish day as well, as all eyes continue to be on this debt agreement, obviously. And silver is dropping a little bit today, down 50 cents or so. Couple other stocks in motion today. What's moving? Well, Juniper is continuing its downward momentum. Juniper had earnings 2 days ago. You can see the drop yesterday. It's coming down here. If you want to know of a level to buy Juniper at, where would a swing trade long be on Juniper? The answer is clearly right down here. If it gets there in the next week or so, and that's at a price of around $22.25, that will be your long position right there for a good bounce. And again, I would actually personally probably take it there too, to be honest. So again, I like to give you guys a little inkling of what I talk about to the nightly viewers in the research center, but ultimately I just scan over things briefly in this video because it's free, and then the nightly video is hardcore with in-depth analysis and trade alerts and so forth. That's inside the research center, and you can get that at InTheMoneyStocks.com. You can sign up actually for a free trial. There's a 7-day free trial that's available. All right, so we'll watch and see exactly what moves here. Let's take a look at a couple other stocks out there. What else is going on? Exxon had earnings this morning. The earnings were not great, but what I like about the chart here is it actually came down to the 50 moving average, and the 50 moving average is actually holding the stock up. You can see how it pierced it, and then it's hovering just above that 50 moving average. All right, Chevron and Sympathy is down. I believe Chevron has earnings tomorrow morning. That should be interesting to watch as well. Scanning through, let me see what else is moving here. AK Steel is another interesting chart, folks. This stock got killed on earnings as well. Look at this drop on earnings, folks. And if you were interested to know where that's going to be a buy, if it gets down here, this is a no-brainer for a short-term bounce on a swing trade. All right, so there's some great charts out there. And again, interestingly enough, folks, and this is what really comes down to it, it's who has the guts in Wall Street, who ignores emotion and focuses on the charts, who goes contrarian to the general public. Those are the people that make money. And to give you guys a sense of this, I want to show you this right now. Yesterday, in the intraday stock chat and in the research center, I had an alert out to buy CREE, C-R-E-E. CREE yesterday came down sharply, and everyone was scared yesterday, and I stepped up and I bought it. All right, CREE today at one point was up 10%. Look at this. Yesterday we're buying here. Look at the move up today. I sold half my position at above 34, and now I have a break-even stop. So again, yesterday, how many people had the guts to do it? Well, the reason why they didn't have the guts is basically because they don't either know charts, they don't know how to read charts, or bottom line is they use emotion. Emotion is ruling them. When emotion rules you, yeah, when the markets are crashing like yesterday, you don't step in front of it because it's emotion. But if you use the charts, that's what lets you do that. And to make 10% on the upside, or 5%, or 8% in this type of move in literally one day, that's where the real winners in Wall Street are. And that's where we are, folks. And if you were in the research center, whether it's a free trial or a subscription, you got that call. Good job today. Other long plays given out yesterday. I gave out SSO at a buy. This is in the money. BAC in the money. You name it, guys. It's just continuing to be in the money here. I'm neither bullish nor bearish. You give me the right setup on any chart, I'll go short or I'll go long depending on what that chart says, okay? All right, let's take a look at financials. Financials are definitely the strongest area today, even though they're coming off their highs. That's mostly because of the market. The chart here on Goldman Sachs, look at that nice move up, and it has faded because the market has faded, but in all essence, again, that's because the market is getting a little weaker here. JP Morgan, let's take a look at JPM. JPM still having an okay day. Markets are back to the flat line. JP Morgan's up. Bank of America, we just talked about, that's up slightly on the day. Wells Fargo, on the other hand, is just slightly negative. So Wells Fargo having a little bit more trouble than some of the other ones at keeping some gains today. Let's see if there's anything else on my radar to watch. Yesterday morning, I gave out MSHL as a small cap winner. The stock ran from my alert at $1.25 right here all the way to $3.28. Almost a 200% runner from the alert in the intraday stock chat. That was the most amazing, probably the top call of the week in terms of small caps. There's obviously large cap calls that are tops. We usually separate it in terms of market cap, but that was definitely the small cap of the week. You can't come close to doing 150, 200% on a small cap from a call in one intraday period. So that was a great winner. It's coming down today. I don't like it until it really pulls back. You got to let that thing pull back quite a bit. Let me see what else is moving today. Amazon, Apple, Google, all positive today. Google had a big drop yesterday, but it's getting a little bit of a bounce. Google a little high on the chart. Interestingly enough, Google got below the two moving averages here, but never confirmed, bounced back up. Now it's trying to get below again. If this confirms, this actually should start to drop more, but only if it confirms. Or if you do not know what the confirmation proprietary signal is, then obviously just take the free trial of the Research Center. I explained it multiple times. We had a great No Hype Live last night, folks. If you're a Research Center member, go watch the archived No Hype Live broadcast from last night. It's live, interactive. I take questions. I basically took questions the whole time. They were great questions too, and I congratulate everyone on bringing their A game and asking me the great questions and educating and giving calls out yesterday in the No Hype Live. And that's part of the Research Center too, folks. Basically everything except for the chat room is part of the Research Center. So you join the Research Center, you're going to get a lot of things, everything but the intraday analysis all day long with the day trading calls. All right, what else do we want to talk about here? If there's anything else on my radar. Again, markets are in hover mode right now. It looks to me like that. You can see we are below these two moving averages, which does tell me we may fall back to this trend line here. You can see this trend line yesterday was kind of the pivot low. One thing to just note here, that line matches perfectly with a gap fill. That's why you stalled there, and that's why you got a bounce today off that level. As we float down, if we get there again, the question is, do we bounce at that point, or does it go through? So again, that's really what I'm going to be looking at very closely to follow to see if that, flushes through or not. If it flushes through, then you're going to go back down to this level right down here. All right? Very interesting market activity right now, I have to say. I mean, it's such a unique time to be involved in this market, and especially to be profiting both long and short, depending on which way the market's going, and making these type of calls and just continuing to milk the market for as much money as we have been doing lately. It's amazing to see, because you're dealing with things that you will look back in history books and see, and to say that you traded through it is an amazing feat. All right, in any case, folks, come join us here. Come join the pros. Get the alerts that the hedge funds are getting. We give them out to the hedge funds. We give them out to everyone who's a member. No seniority, no special treatment here. If you're a member of the Research Center, you're getting exactly what's posted on there, same as the chat. Enjoy. Come take the free trial. It's a 7-day free trial, and we'll see you soon.